Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and my site's Explore Kid Talk. I'm a special education therapist who works in early intervention. Almost every day I have parents ask about their toddler language, if their language is progressing, if they're in the right area, how can they help their children at home, and I wanted to share with you some tips that you can do at home to boost your child's language. Now, I want you to first know that anything that you hear about language development isn't at a specific age. Nothing that I can say or anybody could tell you could say that at 13 months your child will have this many words. It's a range. And that's really important to understand, is that everything isn't at a specific time. Language, and as all development, it happens in ranges and age spans. And that's important to understand. When you go see your pediatrician, or if your child is having some therapy at home or preschool, you may see that one child is running and your child is just walking. Or vice versa, one child is talking a lot and your child is only having a few words. At the end of this video, you'll have a chance to get a reference guide, and that will help you understand a little bit more where the age range should be. And I want you to remember that every child is not the same. That's important. So as we move forward, I want to give you some tips that are strategies that you can do at home to help boost your language development with your child. These are things that should be done every day. It costs you nothing. And it's a way to help your child hear the language all the time. The first thing you want to do is you want to narrate your day. And I know this may sound silly, but you should do a play-by-play of what you're doing. So when I used to change my son's diaper, I would say, oh, you have a dirty diaper. Let's lay down on the table. What do we need for your diaper? Oh, we need a diaper. We need wipes. We need A&D. Okay, we're going to take off your pants. This is what we're going to do. And you may feel really silly, but your child, when they're home, they only have a way to learn language through you. So narrate your day, everything you're doing. If you're in the store with them, say, oh, we're going food shopping. What do we need? We need apples. This is not the right aisle. Let's go down this aisle. Here's the apples. Here's the bananas. Anything you can say, anything that's around you. This is narrating, and it's also labeling. Those two things go together. The labeling is the only way that your child has a way to connect what each object is. Now, along with that, that's you narrating your day. You're then going to change and start to narrate what your child's doing. So as your child moves a little bit more and is crawling and walking, you want to narrate what they're doing. Say, oh, great, you picked up the book. Oh, do you want to read the book now? Are you driving the car? You are giving them the words to explain what they're doing. So let them still play, don't stop them, but narrate what they're doing so they can connect their action to language. And you have to also know that pointing and pulling and gestures, those are very important. This is your child's way of communicating with you. So when your child pulls you into the other room and cries and pulls you, that's because they're trying to get your attention and there's something in that other room that they want to do or they need help with, but either way, they need you. So when they pull you and when they point, that's them communicating with you. You then need to help it along and give them the next step. Give them the words to help fill in what they need. So if they pull you into their bedroom, say, oh, you want to go in your room. What's in your room? Are you looking for something? What did you find? What do you want to play with? All the time. So you want to encourage that language. Also with encouraging is repetition. I'm sure your child is going to have a favorite book that you may read every night, or a favorite song that you sing every night before bed. And as much as you may hate reading that Very Hungry Caterpillar for the 100th time or Goodnight Moon, repetition is another way that children learn. when they hear the same thing over and over, they can understand the connection and they could start to expect what comes next. And when they start to expect, you then as the parent can do the next thing and you can pause to allow them to fill in. A parent needs to give the child an opportunity to fill in the words. So you say, you start to read and you pause at the same point every night. And eventually, they're going to fill in the word for you. If you don't give them that chance, they're just going to let you read and not try to fill in with you. So when you have songs, reading a book, everything that you do in repetition, you can pause and allow your child to fill in with you. Now, not only is their language building, but they're being part of the conversation. Instead of just listening, they're actively being part of the conversation. And when they do that, they're going to want to do that more. Above all else, your child wants to be part of the conversation. You have to give them words to help them and then give them the opportunity to fill in what you're not saying. So those are some of the things that we discussed that you can do all the time. Narrating, repetition, pointing and gestures, labeling. These are things that should be done all the time, every day. So I hope these tips helped you a little bit. And if you found this helpful, please like or comment below so that I can share with you a language chapter that you can receive and a language reference guide. The reference guide is an easy chart that you can refer to help your worries and to understand a little bit more. So like or comment below so that you can get that link to get the language chapter as well as the reference guide. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.